Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. I just wanted to make a short video about Jerry Seinfeld and Dwayne Johnson, who've got into some trouble. I started talking about them both, and I went into a bigger video about the bigger sort of political and tribal and cultural issues that are happening that are probably part of, what's happened with them. But yeah, I mean, what's happening with comedians, to start off with, Roseanne, who used to be a great fighter for women and minorities and gay people and people of colour, and now she's been red-pilled, and now she's a Trump-supporting conspiracy theorist who, I mean, we already know she has mental health issues, and that can't be dismissed and shouldn't be used against her, and I do feel she has been victimised because of that, but she's still saying all these things that are hugely problematic and hurtful and destructive, and I don't know if she knows what she's doing or she's generally... but now we've got Jerry Seinfeld blaming the left for the death of comedy and the death of cinema. Now, the internet killed cinema because we used to be unified by TV and movies. Now we're all on our own devices, all on separate streaming platforms. That's why none of them are succeeding. And we've lost that sense of community and unity and a sense of direction, or one sort of... any sort of unity, and it's just a mess. And he is correct about that, but then he was talking specifically about comedy, and comedy is difficult because, frankly, there's a lot of racist, homophobic bigots who go into comedy and try and use that to just spread their misinformation and racism and hatred. And it works for a lot of people because, you get a crowd of redneck racists, and play to them and tell them what they want to hear, and, punch down on all the minorities, and they're going to have a great time. And that's what a lot of people are attacking in comedy. But for some reason, Jerry, who doesn't even do that style of comedy, is acting like it's killed comedy, because it has become harder, because you do get cancelled if you do that sort of stuff. But why do you need to? Why would anyone need to punch down? Why would anyone want to punch down? If you're a white person, why would you want to make jokes about people of colour? Or if you're a straight person, why would you want to make jokes about gay people? If you're gay, you should be able to do it. If you're white, you should be able to make jokes about your own people, basically. And there's so much there, and it's what you're familiar with. Just do that. But the people who want to punch down on other groups, you can't do it. And arguing against that and saying, oh, that's woke, and no, it's just you being an idiot. You can't do that. You can't punch down on groups below you, because this is wrong, and there is a danger of being used as a weapon against minorities and hurting them. So that's why we don't do that. And Jerry didn't do that anyway, so I don't even know what he's talking about. Some people are suggesting that his new film isn't very funny, and he's trying to blame someone and trying to get attention for the project, but also make an excuse for why it isn't the best. That's what some people like Grace Randolph have suggested. I don't know, but yeah, it's just disappointing. Now, The Rock, he started a while ago, because I just sort of learned this. Apparently he's gone back to wrestling, because he wanted to be a big movie star, and he was, but then he had a couple of films that didn't do well, like Black Adam, which was a huge bomb, and I still don't even know who that character is and why I'm supposed to see that film. Yeah, he apparently went back to wrestling, and wrestling, apparently he was a villain. Now, I saw him when he first started, and I thought he was hot, and he was like a normal sized wrestler then. And then at some point he turned into this big monster and this big movie star, and I hear at some point his character became a villain, and now he's gone back to his WWE roots, and maybe he's just playing the villain now, but he seems to be playing to that toxic masculinity, that sort of right-wing extremist base that apparently is huge in wrestling, because male melodrama seems to have been corrupted into toxic masculinity, a cult of toxic masculinity or something. I don't exactly know, because I haven't really watched wrestling since Hulk Hogan was there. And the last thing I remember was when The Rock started. I remember him being new, and that's the last time I watched wrestling. That was a long time ago, so I don't know what's happened since. But yeah, he came out and basically was attacking woke culture, which is insane, because he's not white. Him and his films like Moana have benefited from diversity and representation. But yet I sort of understand that the base he's targeting on the right is very unified and very lucrative, whereas the other side, the left, the moderates, the extremists, they are not unified. They're all over the place because, frankly, they're more intelligent individual. They think for themselves. They don't follow like sheep. The right follow like sheep. The left are a mess. That's why they can never get their shit together, and it's always the bad guys who win. Because, yeah, the sheep, and they're all following one bad guy, and that's why they want fascism, and they want a dictator, because they like to follow and be led and just believe in that person, then they don't have to think for themselves. Whereas the other side doesn't, but they're never unified, and they're never coordinated, and they're never together. So it's just a mess. So I'm guessing, I don't know, both Jerry and The Rock both are just trying to court an audience because they want, to be successful. But I don't think they're thinking long term, and they're not thinking in terms, because I don't know if Jerry noticed, but he's not white either. He's Jewish, so he's never going to be accepted by that side. Just like Dwayne's never going to be accepted by that side. They're never going to be wide enough. They're never going to pass. The best they could be is diversity shields. So there's no future there. So I don't know what they're doing, but we'll see. We'll see where they go.